Now this program is meant to give you a solid workout that still helps you build strength, muscle, and lose fat, but at the same time, it's very important that you learn the basic movement patterns that almost every exercise falls under. So we've broken down these workouts into doing one exercise per movement pattern in each workout. What that means is that we're not going to be doing a million different exercises every time. Often you'll see beginner workouts that have 10 to 20 exercises. To us, that's a little bit ridiculous. You have to master the main 5 movement patterns that pretty much every exercise falls under in order to progress. We picked a different variation of each 5 movement patterns for all 3 workouts so that you're not doing the exact same exercise each time, but you're still building the same foundational movement pattern each workout. This allows you to still get some variation so you don't get bored of doing the same thing. We also give you 1 minute rest in between each exercise. If you feel like it's too short or if it's too long, you can adjust it based off of how you feel. The first movement pattern is a squat. So a squat is something that's knee-based. That means that the knee joint goes through the biggest range of motion compared to every other joint. Next up is a hinge. The hinge movement pattern is a hip-based movement pattern where your hips go backwards and forwards with a minimal knee bend, and you want to feel more tension in the hamstrings and glutes than anything else. The next movement pattern is a push or a press. That's anything that pushes, whether it be vertical or horizontal. Next up is the exact opposite of that. That would be a pull or a row. So anything that pulls down or rows back. Pulling down, rowing back. They work the same muscle group, just slightly different variations of each targeted muscle within the same muscle group. And last but not least is a core exercise. Now, when you get into a little more advanced workouts, you'll notice that there's different types of core movement patterns. There's rotation and anti-rotation and even carrying load. However, we're not going to worry about that. This is the basic stuff. Just working the abs in any of those will help you build strength, stability. Just working the abs in any of those specific movement patterns will help you build a solid base of the abs. That's going to help you move pain-free. It's going to prevent you from injury while you're lifting or in your day-to-day life. And at the same time, it's going to make you stronger so you can push heavier weight, therefore burning more energy, which can help you lose fat and build muscle. We've got a couple rules that you need to follow before you do any of these workouts. The first one is warm up. Going into a workout cold without a warm-up not only increases the risk of injury, but it also usually decreases the amount of strength because you haven't prepared your body to actually press weight and to actually move. We're going to go through a full warm-up, and you got to make sure you do it before every single workout. Now, talking about warm-ups, we actually want you to have a warm-up set. But in this case, we're allowing your first set in the video to be a warm-up set. You see, ideally, if you were going to lift 150 pounds that day, you don't want to just jump into 150 pounds even after doing the dynamic warm-up that we do in the beginning. You want to start with a lighter weight, maybe 50 pounds, and do a set so that your body can get used to the feel. So it knows, okay, I got to really keep the core this tight. And then the next set we're going up to 100 or 150, it's going to feel even harder, even heavier. So it's a prep for your nervous system and your mind more than it is for anything else at that point. So that's why for this video, we're using the first set of exercises as your warm-up set. So if you have lighter dumbbells, you can do a light dumbbell set before you get into your heavy dumbbell. If you only have one set of dumbbells, what you can do is just do a body weight set. So say, for example, we have 3 sets of 10 reps for goblet squats. You'll do the first set body weight if you want, and then the second and third set you can do with a weight. This is all about biofeedback, so really you gotta pay attention to how these exercises feel, and you want it to be challenging, but you don't want it to be almost impossible for you. But because this is a beginner program, usually 2 sets of an exercise will help you gain results. The next very important point is we don't want you doing anything that causes pain. So if you're doing an exercise and you notice that your lower back is hurting you, you gotta cut that exercise. Now there's a difference between muscle pain or the burn that some people associate that with. To me, the burn is never pain. It's just your muscle reaching a metabolic limit of how much it can actually pump before it gets a rest to flush out those fluids and replenish its ATP, which is energy. But some people interpret that as pain. You must know the difference because pain is more joint-based, or it's from something like a muscle tear. It's usually a pre-existing condition that you may have, or it can be from doing an exercise improperly and you're using your joints or your ligaments too much, causing an injury there. The good thing about that is that if you recognize you have an issue there, reach out to one of us at Clearcut Fitness. If that's the case, make sure you reach out to one of us at Clearcut Fitness. We'll be able to assess you personally, one-on-one, through a video chat to make sure that we know which exercises you can and can't do properly. And at the same time, we'll most likely be able to show you some exercise that will help improve your situation or completely get rid of your pain. You also want to make sure that you are cleared for exercise before you start this program. If you've been given the okay to exercise, then by all means, jump on in. The next very important factor is tempo. A lot of beginners just rip right through a set. Let's say the prescribed exercise is squats for 3 sets of 10. You'll generally see this. People just wanting to rip through it as fast as they can. That is not what we're going for. You see, what we want is to actually control the tempo and control the load on the way down. You want to still feel your muscles work on the way down. Otherwise, you're missing half of the rep. You're missing half of the tension that gives you results. And at the same time, on the way up, you want to still focus on keeping everything tight, coming up and actually feeling the right muscles, in this case, mostly your quads and legs, and doing things properly. Tempo leads right into form. Form might be the most important thing for a beginner to do properly. In these videos, I'm doing voiceovers, teaching you the proper form of each exercise. These cues are important because you want to make sure that you're using the right muscles and doing the exercise properly. If you're not, you're likely going to be missing out on some results because your body wants to cheat sometimes if you get tired. And cheating can mean using other muscles to help out when they're not supposed to, or worst case scenario, actually using your ligaments and joints, putting stress on them to help you get a little bit more. Those things can not only lead to injury down the road, but you're also losing out on your potential results because you're not working the muscles the way that they were intended. This is a program that's meant to be done 3 days a week. You can also do it twice a week and you'll still find a benefit from it, but essentially exercising a full body workout on one day, resting the next day, and then the following day going back into another full body workout has been proven to elevate your metabolism at a steady rate. That's going to help you burn fat, burn energy, and spark your muscles to stimulate some nice toned muscles. Now, like I said, if you've done this program for a week and you feel like it's not challenging enough, then this isn't for you and you are beyond this. In that case, look for our intermediate workouts where essentially we add more volume, whether it's more sets and reps or more exercises or different variations of doing these exercises. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Either myself, Chris, or Shannon, or one of our trainers will be able to accommodate you and help you out beyond this program. Many people need individual attention, whether you have a knee that's acting up, or your lower back, or your shoulders, or you feel like you're not doing something right. Having some one-on-one consulting with a coach will really help take you to the next level. And we'll be able to help guide you through these programs and find a better way that's more customized to your individual body.